What's going on, guys? Welcome back to What Remains of Edith Finch, and today we're going to start out with Milton. Okay.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Okay, how do we do this? There we go, we flip it. So Milton just disappeared.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Well, alright. It's fairly simple.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Okay, I guess we're going back. Oh, we can go up here.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Okay. It's a pretty cool house, though. I mean, regardless of the crazy shit involved with it, I dig the house. Well, let's go inside and see what's in Lewis's room besides a bong. Or is that a hookah? That's a hookah.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
By very familiar, where the fuck am I going? By very familiar, we're talking possible some marijuana. If you're smoking the marijuana here. Yep, there's a bowl. Not that I smoke or partake, if you will. I just yeah.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
His mom began to what?
wander.
Oh, okay.
I asked him to describe it.
This is fucked up. You gotta do two things at
He
once.
said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. Feel his way about.
You know, this is an interesting way to play the game because you're actually doing something repetitive, and then at the same time you're wandering off doing something else.
Then something moved. Bats and toads.
The dragon is
Things
a
that
running
have
theme.
not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Yeah, this is starting to become more vivid.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
So that he was
Like a whole
focused.
new Lewis. So I let him go on.
He just got more vivid ways to let himself go
I even
further.
encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Okay.
Then he
So-
made musicians.
He's getting very vivid with it.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
There we go. It is a little weird trying to do two
He
things at
held
once
an
here.
election for mayor. And he won.
Super Mario Brothers.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
It's a little tricky.
Minneapolis.
Trying to steer this.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Handsome queen. Okay.
The queen was on her own quest for
Let's go with a little excitement. Let's go with Sinister, sir.
serpents.
Yeah.
He followed the sound of her
Let's go, I gotta get these fish heads. There we go. Let's go with electric sitar.
Electric sitar.
We just watched Only Lovers Left Alive. Or was it? Yeah.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Trying to keep up with the fish. We're getting a little behind here.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
What is going on? This is the cannery. I got messages. All right.
Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Wait a minute. Let's get like the... Yeah.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Okay. We're on a conveyor belt.
Including the wise Calico, and insisted on advising him.
This is some pretty crazy shit. So the question is, like, is all of this true or not?
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Okay.
Bend down his head.
Oh, fuck.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oh, that's horrible.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
It's just one thing after the other. So who do we have left? We have Edie. And there's Sanjay and Kay. So I guess the last one we have is Edie.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
All the missing posters.
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Oh, okay, let's go up here.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Okay, we can climb this.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
And they said that everybody was buried in the library. So I wonder what that means.
Isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch. Okay. Let me try to... Here we go.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Okay, where am I going here?
I got turned around.
That's not good. Okay.
For a while, I wandered.
Okay, we're still walking straight.
I started seeing things.
Is that the deer that killed Sam?
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
I suppose there's only one more place to go, and that's the library. Okay, so what am I supposed to do here?
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Oh, there she is.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Is she dead or was she just
After
gone?
that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
So that's why she's got those, like, glove
A few years
things.
went by.
Because Edie used to make them for her. What am I supposed to do here? Shit. Okay, I'm supposed to, like... Okay, I can do that. Okay. Oh, there we go.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Okay, what am I supposed to do here?
This
Oh,
journal was
okay.
supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oh, shit.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Holy shit. Whoa. So overall, like, it's taken me a little bit, I guess, to try to take in exactly what happened. Well, I think it's one of those games that is, you know, there's not really much action in it other than like maybe Barbara's story. There's not really too much into it like you would normally see in games like, you know, with Life is Strange there was a bit of action going on, but it's kind of giving me the same feeling of Life is Strange or like Beyond, which had a ton of action, obviously. But I think in the same realm of actual storytelling and some sort of like melancholy, haunting darkness with it. It's a beautiful game. I would suggest if you're into these sort of things, definitely pick it up and play it for yourself because it's worth it. I had actually had the opportunity to pre-order it, and I'd watched on a video with my nephews about quote-unquote horror games that was supposed to be coming out for 2017. I don't know that I would classify this as a horror game. I mean, there's some terrible things that happen in it. I just think it's I guess just like it's almost like a visual novel in a way, or like you're playing a movie. And I think it's probably more fantasy than horror, but I've really enjoyed this, so hopefully you guys have too. Pick it up. You can find it on PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox. So I will catch you guys next time. We'll be getting into more episodes of Kindergarten, in which I've already got it recorded. I have to find the mythical 6 chicken nuggets. So that's definitely in contrast to this. You guys have a good one.